happy. At this age, they are the formative age, 21, 22, 23, they have thousands of choices before them. And this gives in the next 2 years, literally they have thousands of choices. From startup to civil service to army to going abroad for studies, being in the country and studying, getting into politics, thousands of choices. Now, this kind of events help kids to make a wise choice. That is why it is important that all the eminent people have come, that people like me also get an opportunity to express my thoughts because they make a wise choice. Now is the time they make a real play between money and prestige and service and what path they have to take. So they stick on to the next 35, 40 years. So this war is very etched in our memory. And I remember as students we were collecting funds for Kargil. We all used to carry the small, in Tamil we call Hundi. I remember as a school student that we all stood in the street, went from shop to shop, collected that money. Then from the school we mobilized all that money, gave it to the collector was kind enough to come collect the money. The memory that stands, but more importantly, the pride and respect for a person in uniform. Maybe that could also be a motivation for me also get into a different uniform service. But unlike them, their sacrifice is so high. So that is why today is a day we bow down to them, we pay our respects to them, especially to the Nari Shaktis after 25 years. Still, every time you bring them, the tears come out, the children have grown, and somebody just got married, husband into war, child was small, now the child is growing up without a father. So I bow down my head to all of them, I hope and pray that students will come here. And this 3 hours, 4 hours, whatever has happened now, you take it in your heart, capture it somewhere and store it in your heart. Every day this is not happening, madam. Tomorrow this is not going to happen, next week not going to happen. So you got to find a way to bottle this emotion in your heart. Just keep it. And every time you have a bad day, just remember, there is somebody in the border who is having a worse day than you. And every time you believe life is not fair to you, just remember, there is somebody standing in the border for whom the life is also not fair. Because many times you eat chocolates at minus 40 degrees Celsius, you do a helicopter drop. Even for a tea, they have to take up ice and just brew the tea and drink it. And like you and me, they can't even afford a proper meal. People who are serving in the high altitude area. So just bottle that emotion up. This spirit, the moment that all of us ask for extra, we all standing up, we all felt a genuine sense of pride, patriotism. If you can bottle it up and every day keep remembering, this is what my country is. There is somebody out there who is sacrificing for me to live a good life. They will become better individuals. I remember Abdul Kalam ji, European Parliament, he said, when a person at the individual family level is good, the family becomes better. Then the peace and harmony starts coming to the society. When the society becomes better, the country starts becoming better and better. Then you get a global to it. So everything, the beginning is an individual. I hope and pray this kind of events today, what happened, it gives that spirit to the individual. Sorry for the long answer for a straightforward question, but I thought today is not about me. I think it is about the great people who are here because thousands of people, we all do small work here. I still believe that spirit should get bottled up. That should not get lost a week from now or a month from now.
Right. That's what it is all about. The younger generation, etch these days into your memory, bottle your spirit, and let's continue the good work. So one more thing I would like to know is, how has the geopolitical situation changed after the abrogation of Article 370 and making Jammu Kashmir a free state now?
But I will not use this speech to talk politics and in the sense, a traditional sense of politics. I will not get into that, but I will take this opportunity to talk history. Because it's very important people sitting here should understand what history is. And especially with respect to Jammu and Kashmir, what actually happened. And what has happened over multiple years and what especially happened when Article 370 got abrogated. And Jammu and Kashmir is a very special place because of the nature of its location. What we call the geopolitics, geography and politics combined. It is located in an area where last 2000 years it was always a strategic vantage point. And many countries, many cultures, they all amalgamate, they are very closer. And Jammu and Kashmir being the entry point of Bharat. And if you look at the Island Park also from that side, it is always a very important area for trading, for all the foreign powers to try to, when they want to enter Bharat also, there is always a very important passes were there. And naturally, every country will have an eye, right? The British time, the Pakistani time. So we have to understand, we all know the history post-independence, 1947, August, we got independence. There were some princely states who are not willing to join because some states were ruled by kings, some princely states were nawabs, and somebody wanted to take an extra bit of time to understand where they really wanted to go, because this partition itself was something that is forced on our countries, India and Pakistan, and something forced on you that, look, this is the line, beyond this line there is India, beyond this line there is Pakistan. In that context, you have to understand Jammu and Kashmir. Even when the Maharaja of Kashmir, was still taking some time to come to a conclusion. You had the tribal attack, the so-called tribal attack, which Pakistan says, and we watch it as we always said to the world stage. It is planned and orchestrated by the Pakistani army. It went to the United Nations, January 1, 1948. Then some kind of a resolution was brought in, then they wanted a plebiscite, so long story. Then you had a government there which clearly felt that India should have two flags. The rest of India will have one flag, India will have two flags, maybe Jammu and Kashmir will have one flag. India will have two constitutions, the rest of the country will have a separate constitution. Jammu and Kashmir will have parts of constitution, Article 370 and Article 1, only two parts that is applicable in Jammu and Kashmir. When India will have a Prime Minister, Jammu and Kashmir will also have a Prime Minister, which you call the Chief Minister as a Prime Minister. So this was there for a long time. Then you have parties like Praja Parishad Party, which wanted to have national flag in Jammu and Kashmir, the tricolor flag as the flag. And in 1951 elections, this particular party was disqualified. They couldn't fight the elections properly. Then the government came to power. So long story. So what I'm trying to say, madam, to come to this conclusion why Article 370 need to go, it is important you have to understand what built it up. In 1950, when Article 370 came for a short-term measure, and nobody had the courage to lift Article 370 for a long time, finally after 2019, August it has to be done. So I only request the students here, it's a good time now to at least read the history of our country. I think when the gentlemen before us, they were talking, they mentioned, the Chief Secretary when he was talking, he mentioned, it is important we understand the history of this country in a proper length spirit. Be it Jammu and Kashmir, be it Northeast, be it parts, including Hyderabad has got a long history of struggle. If you don't understand it, then possibly, where will the patriotism for us come? Then again, Jammu and Kashmir had a long story. Then Chief Minister was dismissed, arrested, he was sent to my state for 11 years in exile. The 1975 agreement happened between Indira Gandhi and Sheikh Abdullah. Then 87 mass rigging of elections happened. Then probably the early signs of militancy started happening, which all led to this war. 1999, you have this Kargil war, which led to that geopolitical tension, where one country, the democracy was changing, the army was coming in Pakistan. The army wanted to show their power, that they are the people who will control Pakistan. They wanted to show they really mean business. Then it led to that. What is the result? 527 are brave soldiers, brave heart, they lost their life. And a lot of geopolitical confusion, not adhering to a spirit, making sure the spirit of Jammu and Kashmir was killed at a particular point of time, because you had two constitutions, two prime ministers, two flags, which in a civilized democratic country cannot coexist, and the absence of democracy, rigging of elections, banning of political parties, everything led one after the other. Then you had the mass exodus. Kashmir Pandits they left. You saw the blood killings, and anybody who has seen the Kashmir fight story, they know that particular part of Kashmir's history. 1989, early part of 90s, still about 1999. Then the 1999, what happened? For the whole world was watching what is happening in Jammu and Kashmir. Now, possibly in our generation, I think a lot of generations have read it, right? Especially this generation with a lot of pride can say, August 2019, when 370 was abrogated, we said right to a historical wrong. The Constitution of India that is applicable to the rest of the country is going to be applicable to the whole of Jammu and Kashmir in letter and spirit. And historical wrong that was committed in 1950, which was inserted in our Constitution, again 35 days, 370 was removed, which made sure very small things. A woman born in Jammu and Kashmir, married outside Jammu and Kashmir, will have right to inherit a property. They are very small things. A person from outside Jammu and Kashmir, entering Jammu and Kashmir, has to get a pass to live in Jammu and Kashmir for a certain point of time. Again, a person who is in Jammu and Kashmir who belongs to the SC/ST community doesn't have India's SC/ST Act that is not applicable to that particular person. Small things for the general population, but big things for the people. Which one clear stroke of the abolition of Article 370? Very first time we can say, last year 2022-23, close to 1 crore 89